think that's the danger with meetings. You really need to think like, what is the purpose of the meeting, you know, and then deciding the frequency of certain meetings, who needs to be there. The more people that's there, the more actually unproductive it is, because then and a lot of people don't need to be there. And yeah, apparently they say, you know, around 3 people is enough in a meeting, but no, not depending on what kind of meeting, but overall you don't have to have everybody who's involved. It's the key decision makers, and then you kind of always assess. So like, for example, we used to have weekly marketing meetings, and then we started to go, hang on, do we really need this, and what's the purpose of it? Let's only do monthly meeting, but every week please do a screencast video updating on the report. Get it? So that means that person has their own time to analyze the report and send a video, then we all watch it. Whereas if we all had a meeting and she's explaining it live, that's just wasted everyone's time at the same time. So yeah, just always audit and look at your time. The other automation that pops up at the end of the day for us is asking all of us the question, what did you achieve today? What did you learn? And what was the challenge? So that you are taking stock of your day, because your day would go by and you're like, I don't know what happened. Like, did I really achieve it? And I think it's important. That's why when you have that today's must-do list, and you only pick a few that you know are quality, when you don't do it, you know that something's wrong, like you've actually like stuffed up your day and didn't do it right. But for many years because we get that adrenaline rush from dopamine. I think that's what Simon Sinek says, from actually just ticking tasks to do, like, yep, I've done it. Yeah. Another thing that I want to share is, so every week we get the team to brain dump everything that they're going to do for the week, so that everyone can see what the transparency between departments or people. And so we used to use a meeting to just share that, and it was just so time consuming. By the time we had 10 people, it became a 2-hour meeting. And so an idea that I have for you is to use Google Excel. Let me just open up how it looks like. And I think this would be really good for, you know, even Western Sydney as a team, because you guys are, you know, all different team members. Okay. So we basically, before Monday comes, everyone has already filled out how do they rate last week, right? What was the reason? What did they achieve last week? And then what is the priority for this week? Most important learning from last week, challenges, and even this one word. It's really amazing when you choose a word for focus, you actually end up living that word the whole week. So that, you know, when Monday morning comes, you're like, last week I was all over the place, right? Like this week I really wanted to be calm. So when you set that word, somehow the whole week you set that intention already and you're just calm. And so as you can see, some people have a lot in their to-do list. And let's say Annie, if she was spending the meeting updating us on all the work she achieved last week and what she's planning on to do this week, we would go on for hours. And that's what we experienced at firsthand. We started to like, okay, yeah, it was just like a thing. So really, this is where we just all check everyone's task. And now, so then when it comes to the huddle meeting, we literally ask one question: what is the best thing about last week that you want to share? And so that best thing could be something personal. It could be business, because sometimes it could be really occupying their mind about business, so they share that. But sometimes it's just something that they did at home. The whole point of this meeting isn't to update on tasks. It's to connect. It's to feel human again, to feel like you care about my life and not think. And so this has really worked well for us. And so the meeting with 10 of us is just a half an hour. So I think it comes down to communication, you know, that not giving the right instruction, and then the other person might not understand and then do the complete wrong thing. It's also forgetting that you need to over communicate when it's online, because you can't see them there. So let's say you're sending an email. We always train everyone to then reply back and say, I've got that email and I'm working on it. And it's just every little way, you know, even if something is due in a week's time, the best thing you could do for your colleague and your people you work with is giving them constant update. You know, 2 days later, hey, I'm up to here and I'm in that. So the more communication, the better, the less misunderstanding, because someone could be busy working for a week, but because they don't update, the other person can't help to go, what's happening? I wonder what she's up to. And so then it creates this untrusting culture, and the other person's like, you just don't trust me and whatever, right? So it's really about minimizing the misunderstanding. So the communication is number one. I guess the other challenge is just being productive, right? As in, if you're working online with people, how do you make sure everyone is productive? Being busy is not the same as productive and performance. So that is why all the tips that I've given you in terms of the picking up the important tasks to do, and then meeting up with each other, and all that transparency, then you can help one another and see that, hey, I don't think you should be working on that. Maybe can you help me with this? So that would be that kind of challenge between team. Yeah.